Hey guys, Casey here, and I am back with the second tag video that I promised in my last video, which I put up, I believe, Tuesday, so we're doing pretty good. There's only one more tag video that I want to do to complete the little series. This tag is the 90s tag. Now, I was born the end of the 80s. So I actually feel like I can say that I was a 90s kid because I was a kid in the 90s. None of this, I was born in 97 and I'm a 90s kid. Not that it's bad, but like I was actually a kid in the 90s. Like I think in 99 I was 9. Or 10. I think I was 10. Yeah. So like I remember stuff in the 90s. Still, like, I actually can recall things that, like, I did in the 90s, and how I dressed and how I acted, which is shameful. So I thought I'd do the 90s tag because I was looking at the questions on my trusty dusty phone / Tumbler website that I got sent the link to, and some of the questions made me really nostalgic about my childhood and my youth. And I feel like when you get those little moments, you're kind of like, wow, that was a great time in my life. I wanted to revisit it again, so I am doing the 90s tag. And some of these questions definitely made me reminiscent of when I was little and the things I did, TV shows, and all that stuff. So there's a lot of questions, so I think we should probably start now. Question number 1, what was your favorite Disney movie? It depends on if you're actually saying, like, Disney or, like, Disney Channel movie. Because if it's Disney movie, it was definitely The Great Mouse Detective. And if you're saying Disney Channel movie, it was definitely Rip Girls. Throwing it way back there. So if it's Disney, The Great Mouse Detective, Disney Channel, Rip Girls. Favorite music artist of the 90s? I cannot pick a solid one, so I'm just going to go with Christina Aguilera. Because it was Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears, NSYNC, or Backstreet Boys. I listened to all of them, like, at nauseum and on repeat. But if I could pick one, it would probably be Christina Aguilera, just because I think that was, like, the second album that I ever got. And I think it was the first album I bought with my own money. Like, I did chores and saved up enough money to buy the Genie in a Bottle album, or I can't remember what that was even called, like the full record, but it was that one with Genie in a Bottle and What a Girl Wants and Come On Over. And question 3, favorite candy or sweets? This was one of the ones that made me really nostalgic because they don't make this anymore. It was from Planters Peanuts, and they were called PB Crisps. And they were little peanut cookies with chocolate in it or peanut butter. You could decide. And my brother and I always used to beg for the chocolate ones, which was like a special treat. And I probably have lipstick all over my face right now. I apologize if I do. We used to always want the chocolate ones, and they don't make them anymore. So definitely PB Crisps. And if it was a drink, the Boku fruit juice. Favorite McDonald's toys? The Mini Beanie Babies. I wish I had one to like show you guys and be like, ha! But I don't. They're somewhere in my crawl space, which is scary. But I do still have them. They're just like in spider territory, and I'm deathly afraid of spiders, and I will not go up there until it's like de-spidered, which will probably never happen. But definitely the Mini Beanie Tie Beanie Babies. I will insert a picture somewhere of them. Favorite book? Harry Potter. And some is like, no, that was like 2000. It was 97. I believe the first book came out in 1997, and my dad bought it for me, and it was like the first really big kid book, so I was only like 8, or, yeah, I was like 7 or 8 at that time, and I was like, yes, reader. But that was my favorite book, was the Harry Potter books, and the Magic Treehouse books. Those are really good too, and I still like to kind of like look through them. They're kid books now, and they're all like in my garage. But it's cool, like I have like the entire series of both. So those two were for sure. Favorite clothing store? The Limited Too. Isn't that every girl's favorite clothing store from the 90s that their 90s kid was limited to? The plastic furniture, the chokers, the lip gloss, all that stuff that you could buy at the limited to. Favorite Nick Jr. program? I don't know if I watched a lot of Nick Jr. Probably Rugrats. I think it was Nick Jr. My favorite Nickelodeon program. So Nick Jr. was Rugrats or the Wild Thornberrys. Those two. Wow, I'm failing at this already because I can't pick one. My favorite Nickelodeon show was either Legends of the Hidden Temple, Are You Afraid of the Dark, All That, or What Would You Do? And Salute Shorts, and Hey Dude. I lived off Nickelodeon. This was like way before I discovered Disney Channel and like DComs and all that stuff. But definitely all those shows were my favorite. So I couldn't pick just one. What would you watch when you came right home from school? Arthur. Arthur. I grew up reading the books, and when they made the TV show, it was great. And I still know the thing of like, hey, what a wonderful kind of day to get along and work and play and get along with each other. I still remember that entire theme song. And yes, I just sang that in front of you guys. I'm embarrassed. Sorry. But it was definitely Backstreet Boy. It was definitely Arthur. Arthur was my jam after school, and I would watch Arthur and eat goldfish and drink my glass of milk, and that was my like afternoon snack after school. And it's funny because I feel like I've come full circle because now like my students watch Arthur during our like TV time, like the half-hour a week at my school. We do that. They choose Arthur, so I'm kind of like, oh, I know all of this. So it's kind of cool to come like back. NSYNC or Backstreet Boys? NSYNC. But I did like the Backstreet Boys songs like You Hit Me Faster Than a Shark Attack. I did like that one song. It's from the Millennium album. Britney or Christina? Christina, especially in the dirty phase. That was my album. What was your favorite Nickelodeon cartoon of the 90s? Rugrats, Wild Thornberry, Cat Dog, Rocko's Modern Life, Our Real Monsters. All of those. And I feel like I'm missing one. Yes. What was your favorite Nickelodeon game show of the 90s? Okay, this goes back to the previous question, but it was either Legends of the Hidden Temple or What Would You Do or Double Dare, I think was the other one, where they went down the big ear, like the brain drain with the big ear and slide in the foam. Those three. But definitely Legends was the one. Legends of the Hidden Temple was my favorite, probably of all time. Which had better TV shows, Nick or Snick or TGIF? Snick. Duh. Saturday Night Nickelodeon. Snick. How many Beanie Babies did you own and which were your favorites? I owned a lot. My favorite was the polar bear, the alligator, the snake, the kangaroo, and yeah, I liked all of them. Did you own a virtual pet, Gigapet, Tamagotchi, etc.? I owned a alien Gigapet. Gigapet. I own an alien Gigapet, and I'm actually on Amazon and eBay all the time trying to find one because I'm always like, oh my god, to own that again. And I don't know what happened, but like to own that again, I would die. It would be great. But I owned a alien Gigapet, which the fact that I wanted the alien and not like the doggy or the kitty or puppy or whatever says a lot about my personality, that I would choose the alien as a 7-year-old. What was your favorite video game system and your favorite game for it? My favorite video game system was Super Nintendo, and if any of you watching this know Super Nintendo, there was the Mario Paint, and they had the fly swatting game, where you would like swat the fly and you'd get to like the mother fly or like the queen bee and you would like have to swat it. That was my favorite game, the fly swatting game. I don't care about the coloring or anything. I like the fly swatter game. What was the best Disney movie of the 90s? Didn't they already ask that question? Yeah, favorite Disney movie. What was the best Disney movie in the 90s? Again, if they're going Disney Channel movies, Rip Girls. But if they're going classic Disney movie, again, it's Great Mouse Detective. Which world event affected you the most in the 90s? I don't know. I don't even know, because, like, I'm thinking of all the events that happened, like the OJ thing, the Oklahoma City bombing, and they're all negative, and I don't want to be negative. So, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think of, like, the good things that happened in the 90s. The Olympics. I'm just going to go the Olympics in the 90s. Those were the events for me. Would you rather be born in any other time period, and if so, which one? I would want to be in the kind of medieval Renaissance time period only because I love that time period. I love the flowing dresses. I love just I don't know. But at the same time, I feel like anyone could say that they would love to live in a different time period, but I feel like if you were to live in that time period, every time period has their own issues and their own disadvantages. So while it's really fun for me to say I would love to live in the Renaissance and medieval times, I also have seen enough shows to know there's like the plague and all the diseases and everything. And they didn't shower very much. But I do love going and thinking about, like, medieval, the horses, the knights, the chivalry, the queens, the kings, the princes, the princesses, the fair maidens, the wenches, if you will, the proprietors, the leathersmiths and blacksmiths, and the people who did iron, and all that stuff is really cool, and I love going to Renaissance fairs and watching, like, blacksmiths and leathersmiths who make, like, the leather books, and I love watching the glass people who make the glass jars and vases and cups and goblets. I also really like going and seeing that at Renaissance fairs, so if I could choose a time, that's a really long explanation. Sorry. I would choose that one. The 90s tag is done! That was actually really, really cool. I like thinking about that, because the 90s, I kind of vividly remember some things, kind of, some I don't. Because, like, the early 90s, I was still really little. So, like, I don't remember, like, the really early 90s, but, like, 95 on. At that point, I kind of remember. So, it's really, really fun. If you were a 90s kid or a 90s baby and or grew up in the 90s, if you know any of the shows, movies, TV things, books, games, food that I talked about, please let me know in the comments. I would love to know what your favorite things were from the 90s, if you remember them. Favorite stores, favorite clothing. I love stirrup pants from the 90s. They're like the... I was obsessed with leggings before, like, leggings were, like, a fashion item. Like, I don't know. But, the Converse, the ridiculous ponytails and giant scrunchies, and just the fashion. So if you remember any of that, please comment below and tell me your favorite things from the 90s, anything you remember that you liked, disliked, see if they're same. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate the views and subscribers, and I will see you guys next time, and I hope you guys have a great night and great weekend. Bye!